shining sleeves, all in those evil eyes, they have no place. Good morning, welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. On a serious note this morning, there's quite a bit of Celtic news going about, and it's not from the sort of mainstream media, not from the usual mainstream media sources that you would expect from Celtic. There is, just check. There's a bit of news concerning Johnny Kenny, and Johnny Kenny has injured himself. Why is that sounding awful this morning? This damn microphone. 1, 1, 2, testing. There we go. That's a bit better. Johnny Kenny. Yeah, Johnny Kenny. Let's listen to the Bolton Wanderers manager on a Johnny Kenny update this morning. Let me just get it on here. We'll get the audio up. And let's listen to the Bolton Wanderers manager talking about Johnny Kenny.
Everyone knows Johnny's injured.
What's the extent of Johnny Kenny's injury?
Yeah, he's got a ligament damage in his knee, so that'll be him done. It's just, I think it's a similar sort of injury as what Mario had in January, so it's going to be season ending for us certainly.
Yeah, and that in itself is a major blow. He'd got 5 in 5 and he was really looking the part, wasn't he?
Yeah, 6 goals total for us, a few assists. He was a constant threat, not easy to play against. I spoke a few weeks ago how important he has been for us, so can't deny that he's going to be a miss. But like we've proved all season, mate, Sam Dalby got injured in the first week of pre-season. Mason Berso stepped up and got off to a flyer. You know, we've had other injuries, Marcus Force, big injury out. Mario, knee injury. Corey Blackett-Taylor stepped in, did really well.
Anyway, that's the Bolton manager talking about Johnny Kenny this morning. Season ending, defining moment for Johnny Kenny. Knee ligament damage. A knee ligament damage, if that is the case, will he be ready for pre-season at Celtic? I would say that is the big shout about will he be ready for pre-season or not? And yeah, it is a difficult one. Let's listen to the Celtic captain, and then we're going to get on to a young Celtic player who is wanted by a Spanish team.
We have to be at our best if we want to win the game. It goes without saying. It's obviously a home game. We want to try and bring the crowd in and start well, start fast, and hopefully get on top of them that way. So these games at home are always vital, and then obviously we know the context of where we are. It's even more important that we do everything we can to win the game and then set up what will be a really important sort of last 5 days.
I looked up your record, 47 times you've played in the Glasgow derby. You've won 25 of them, 6 goals that you've scored against Rangers. Obviously now as captain you've spoken about that experience, but you've also spoken in the past about using emotion right in the game as well, because if you go in without emotion, sometimes it doesn't come off for you. How can you use the emotion come Sunday, given everything around the wider picture?
Yeah, that's it. I think you have to take all of it into context. I think you have to understand that this is a big game. You know, they're all big games, but this is a big game, so you have to be calm enough to know what it is you need to do and how to carry it out, but you also have to play on the edge of, can you 3, 4, 5% more than normal, and that could be the difference. The supporters will be the same. It's almost like that sort of Champions League kind of atmosphere, and these derby games, they just give you something different. They just give you a little edge, and we have to use all of that, everybody at the club, to push in the direction that we want to be. Obviously, we want to commit the game, having won it. It'll take a big effort, and then if we do that, we then park it, and then we do the same again on Wednesday night. So context, and then it's about bringing everything you've got to the table to see where that'll take us.
There's probably a feeling out with Celtic that a Hearts title win would be almost good for Scottish football, but from our point of view, we want Celtic to be as successful as possible. If you were to win the title this season, where would that rank for you in all your collection of Celtic trophies?
Yeah, like you said, obviously we don't want to tempt fate. We want to of course be the team that goes on and lifts it, and we'll do everything we can. And I think if we do, it'll be a monumental achievement. I think, to be honest, it's quite often we've done really good to get to the point where we've almost been comfortable, and that in its own right is also very impressive. But especially when it gets to this point in the season where it was probably 3-horse race, maybe now 2-horse race, but it takes a different kind of mentality, a different kind of attitude to be chasing and knowing that one bad result can knock you out. So if we do go and do it, then with all the adversity that we've faced this season, yeah, it would definitely rank right up there.
Definitely rank right up there, says Callum McGregor, if Celtic were to go on and win the league this season. Massive day for Celtic. And Martin O'Neill has a big decision to make. But in other Celtic news, there's news coming out of Spain. A website in Spain has said that Club Athletic, as they enter into a new era this summer, if Celtic were to go, as they enter a new era this summer, one of those players that they're looking at is a player that's been making waves in the Celtic youth team. 15-year-old has scored 50 goals in 35 that can't be right. Surely he's not scored 58 goals and 35 assists this season for Celtic. There is no way. If he has, anyway, they are trying to entice the young boy to leave Scotland and go back to Spain. If young Zion Pullen is if he is the real deal, Celtic, you know, and it goes on to say the problem is for Athletic, they're not the only team keen on Pullen. The teenager is attracting interest from a whole host of clubs across Europe. Well, it may be tricky for Celtic to rein his services for the academy star. It is far from certain that he could end up at Athletic. But nevertheless, club officials, if he is deemed to be their desired target, will try and make a move for the player. Could be another case of another youngster coming through the system at Celtic, and Celtic being unable to keep hold of the player. From certain that he could end up, and if he is under 15s for Spain, the goal contribution is correct, but that's unbelievable. I know that he got called up to the under. We had a look at it when I heard that he got called up for the under 15s at Spain. When you look at some of the players and some of the teams that he's in and around, it's fantastic for Celtic. But if we lose another potential youngster that is highly sought after, he's rubbing shoulders with players that play at Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and he's plying his trade in Scotland. Of course he'll want to go to Spain at some point, but can Celtic not find a manager that can get the best out of our youth system and just entice the player to stay at Celtic, just even for a couple of years? To even just try and win stuff at Celtic and then move on for a massive fee. We'll wait and see how that one comes and works its way out. I don't think it's one that we're going to get really upset about. There's a lot of speculation again for Robbie Keane to be the next Celtic manager. But let's talk about the situation with Johnny Kelton, Johnny Kenny's injury. What about McInnes's and boys' meltdown last night, says Peter King. Not really time for that today because we've got Celtic stuff to get through, and we've got our own important game today. Today's not a good day for shitting the bed. Ray, if you shit the bed this morning, it's not a good day for that. And Scott says we better not shit the bed today, all or nothing. Martin O'Neill has a good. He knows how to beat Rangers. You know, he's done it when it's mattered this season. And I think when you look at the fact that Kenny's injury, when you look at the fact when it matters, this Celtic team under Martin O'Neill have definitely got it over the line. Mr. Tweet says on Kenny, we will never see him play again for us. We'll just need to wait and see. I mean, it's devastating for young Johnny Kenny, but it'll be interesting to see what happens in pre-season. I bet the Motherwell manager will give the young lad a chance. I mean, he's too young at 15 to be playing. Don't know, but he's down in Saigon, doesn't shit his bed in weeks. There's no pathway for a kid at Celtic. His head will be turned. He's off, says the bommy. Yeah, I think we'll all know that. But hopefully we bring in a manager that does see the benefit of a Celtic youth system, and it benefits the club in the long term. You know, we don't have to go out and buy potential. Bring in loan players as potential. If you've got a good youth system and you can keep those young players, see the money that they've wasted over the years on your Gustav Lagerbielkes, your Odom Ohms, your Lewis Palmers. See if we'd just dedicated a big chunk of the money that was paid out on those players' wages. Because with those three players alone, you're talking over £30,000 a week. I mean, Gustav Lagerbielke was on 16, 17 grand a week or something. Lewis Palmer was on similar. Odom Owen was on over 10. I mean, there's best part of 40 grand. If you could have taken that 40 grand a week and put it towards the younger players that were coming through the system at Celtic, surely it would have enticed some of these players to stay. Now you'll get people that will say, well, they've never done anything where they've went. There is a few players that are kind of doing things, but it's football's a funny old game. It is a funny old game. What age is Yamal at Barcelona? He was 17 when he broke into the Barcelona team. But he is a special talent, and I think the thing is do special talents like him get room to thrive in the physical aspect of the Scottish game? I mean, you look at that game last night, the Motherwell Hearts game. Hearts are all big players. They're all 6-footers. They've all got a bit of upper body strength. There's not too many teenagers even coming through the Hearts system that are playing in the Hearts first team. You have to weigh up the ability to bring in young youth players that haven't fully reached their potential physically. And that's where Celtic kind of fall down. And any young one. McStay was 17. That was a long time ago, though. Let's do this. 40 minutes till the shop opens. Nick. Right, give me your score prediction today. And will Martin O'Neill play Rio Hatate this afternoon? He did say that Rio Hatate will have some game time before the end of the season. We all know that Rio Hatate likes a little goal against this lot, as does Callum McGregor. And will Callum Osmond, because Callum Osmond also scored for Martin O'Neill's team also. O'Neill play Rio Hatate this afternoon. He did. I'm just listening to the sound, and it's there. Roy Aitken was still at school. Yes, Roy Aitken was at school, but we're talking about stuff 40, 50 years ago. Even longer for Roy Aitken. So there's no use talking about what happened the way back then. You look at the modern game, you look at the modern player, you look at the physicality of Scottish football. Look at the physicality of Scottish football. Look at the players that they're up against. You can't bring in... I mean, look at Johnny Kenny when he first came to Celtic. He was a wee skinny teenager. He didn't have the physicality for the game. So he was sent back to Ireland. And when he came back, you were like, wow, what a change about a year and a bit's done for Johnny Kenny. A fantastic turnaround as he's grown into an adult from a teenager. The physicality changes, and it makes him be able to cope with the rigours of the SPFL. There's no use bringing on a teenager that's got all the skill in the world, but it's only 5'4" and he's built like a rake. There's no point at all, because he's just going to get... I mean, look what happened to Kyogo. Kyogo was consistently barged off the ball. Defenders, big 6'3" defenders just running into him off the ball to stop because they know he had the pace to get by them. So it is an interesting time, but anyway, that's a chat for the future, because it is the final Glasgow derby of the season. But it is the final Glasgow derby of the season. Martin O'Neill has a big choice to make today, and I'm going to get some of the scorelines. Will Rio Hatate get any time on the pitch? So that's not the first one. Paddy Burns says, "Hey, Whale Baz, I think we'll win 2-0 today." All right, mate, hope you're good. Mary Young says 4-0 Celtic. If red card Rio plays, it will definitely be 3-1 to the Celts. Interesting. Beautiful sunny day. Time for a fry up, swally, and hopefully a wee party. Well, if it's sunny in Glasgow, all I'm saying, that's a good sign. Celtic to win 2-1 today. They will get their dodgy penalty. I'm not too sure. Hoops 4 in a row. Celtic are going for 5 in a row, mate. Take another 1-0 win, says William Beattie. Aussie John says 3-1 Celtic. Hunts to score first, 1-0 at half time, and then 3-1 at full time to the Pope's 11. Generally, the team that scores first wins these games, so I hope that Celtic score first. Hopefully, young Osman makes the bench. It's a hard one, because if he plays Dice Maeda from the start as a striker, it means he's going to have Iniacho on the bench. If he's got Iniacho on the bench, it's kind of hard for him to put and to justify putting Callum Osmond on the bench, because you're going to have a winger on the bench, you're going to have a couple of midfield players, and you're going to have a couple of defenders. The bench is quite quickly taken up, so can be, unless Kelechi Iniacho starts for Celtic, Dice Maeda's out in the wing. That's the only way that I could see Callum Osmond making the bench. So it is interesting, because we will have the team announced in just over an hour and a half's time. I'll take a 1-0 win, 3-0 to Celtic. Osmond, Maeda double. I do see goals on both sides today. The Huns have nothing to lose. I will go 3-2 Celtic. There's another bit of breaking news this morning. The Green Brigade have put out a statement regarding the tifo at Celtic Park this morning, this lunchtime. Let's just get the screen split here. And tifo info versus Huns. Fantastic. At recent home matches, the Celtic support has driven the team onto victory for this derby of historic importance. We need more from everyone. It's up to everyone to keep playing their part to give the team an extra ounce of energy to capitalise on our advantage. Before the match, there will be a tifo in the North Curve. The tifo will have multiple parts, making the final effect. We kindly ask all for your usual participation and patience while the tifo is unfurled and display. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Green Brigade 2006 to 2026. 20 years of the Green Brigade. 20 years of the Green Brigade. I can still remember my 15th anniversary badge that I had. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, that is an update from the Green Brigade this morning. Excuse me. 2-0 the Hoops. Hail from Tunisia. Celtic fans all around the world this morning in Saigon and Tunisia. Hail from Tunisia 4-0 Celtic. He came back with a drinking problem, bulking up on Guinness. The Johnny Kenny, I don't think so. Jim Lister's team for today: Sinisalo, Sriracha. He's going for Sriracha left back. Oh, I think they might be wrong with that one, but it's all about opinions on the One Celtic fans' view. Scales, Trusty, and Alistair Johnston. Kieran Tierney left wing. Arnie Engels centre midfield. Callum McGregor centre midfield. Right wing Forrest. Centre forward Maeda. And Nacho's centre forward. And Iacho's centre forward. Tierney and Forrest on the wing. It's more a 4-4-2 formation. Not a chance, mate. Not a chance. Martin O'Neill will not go for 4-4-2. Let's go for 4 wins for the double. 4 wins for the double. It's only 3 games left, mate. Yeah, I know, today as well. Yeah, 4 wins for the double after today. It will tell us if, having watched the Hearts game last night, the Hearts look as if they're running out of steam. The Hearts look like they're buckling under a bit of pressure. Derek McInnes will say that they should have had a penalty and they should have won the game comfortably, but they didn't. Can Celtic do what Celtic have done many times over the years? Callum McGregor has 24 titles that he's won, 24 winners' medals. Well, whilst the skipper that he's up against today, Tavernier, who's a legend, who's a Hall of Famer, has 3. You could include Tavernier's winners' medals from the lower leagues if you wanted to, but top level stuff is only won 3. 20 odd trophies more for Callum McGregor. And there you go. It is going to be an interesting game, and let's see if there's any breaking news, because that is something just flashed up on my screen. Oh, it's just about the Green Brigade. We've done that already. So let's just get some comments before we finish up this morning. It's crazy that we're still in this title fight. Even crazier that we can actually still be champions. I think if we do go on to be champions, it's like Callum McGregor said, it will go down as one of those most remarkable achievements. And you will get other teams saying that Celtic bought referees and all this nonsense, but we're all playing against the same bad referees. Any score will do today, as long as it's a win for Celtic. Tam the Czech made some good assists in important games, and that iconic Ibrox penalty. He wasn't a flop, he contributed. Good luck to the big man. Is he worth £7 million though? Is he better than Adam Ida? I'm not too sure. I mean, we brought in Adam Ida after Adam Ida's goal-scoring exploits. Adam Ida scored 9 goals in his loan period. Tam the Czech didn't look like he was going to hit 9 goals. So I would say, although ultimately we ended up paying 9 million, we know we paid over the odds for Adam Ida. I think if we'd got Adam Ida for 3 million, a lot of Celtic fans would have not have given him as much stick. I still think it's a travesty that we've got rid of a goal scorer that scored 29 goals. There is no way that Big Tam, there's no disrespect to the big lad, but there's no way that I think that Big Tam is a player that would have scored in a season and a half 29 goals for Celtic. Don't know. Chilpill's going for 2-0 this morning. 3-1 Celtic, 2-1 Celtic. Calmack with a screamer. Let's focus on today's game, as we need to. It was a great result for Motherwell, but Celtic need to do the job. Yes, they do. 4-2 Celtic. Calmack smashes it off Tav's face and it goes in. That would be fantastic. Very sunny, a sunny G Town. Is that Glasgow Town or G Town as I know it? 2-1, I think. 2-1. A lot of people saying 2-1. 7-1 says Jim Lister. 3 wins to the title, the main prize. Yes, 3 wins. Can Celtic get the 3 wins? They have 2 wins already. When you look at the SPFL table, I still go back to this because Historically, Celtic are the only team to win 5 games on the trot after the split. Now, if Celtic can get the win today, it puts us in an unbelievable situation. Not only does it put us right up there, putting pressure on Hearts, but we will be the only team, if we win today, to win 3 of the first 5 final games. Rangers have completely collapsed with 2 losses. Now, the bad news for Celtic is that Rangers tend not to lose 2 games in a row, which means that this game statistically could end up a draw today. But Martin O'Neill knows what it's like to win against this lot. He's back at Celtic Park as manager. He's never managed a Celtic Rangers derby at Celtic Park for over 20 odd years. If he can get the victory today, people say just build the statue right now, and it would be amazing. But the feel-good factor within the squad, the belief within the squad, if we get the victory today, never mind the bragging rights just for beating Rangers, in the mind of the Hearts team and the Hearts fans, you saw how nervous Hearts fans were in the stand last night. They know what happened in 1986. They remember it. They will say, if they don't win the league, they will say it's still been a fantastic season for them. But will they ever get that close to Celtic again? When you look at the absolute shit show of a season Celtic's had, it's unbelievable that Celtic are in the position where we're so close to winning the title. We may not win the title, you never know. Let's see how today pans out, but I am expecting a fantastic week of football. And I tell you one thing, if it's anything like the game last night, what a game of football that was. And it was a cracking advert for Scottish football. Let's hope today, because let's face it, the derby games over the course of the season have been absolute rank rotten to watch. When you look at the game at Hampden, it was a crap game. Neither team could get it over the line in the 90 minutes. Neither team could get it over the line in extra time. Went to penalties. It can't go to extra time or penalties today. A draw is no good for Celtic. No good whatsoever. Any dropped points by Celtic, and Hearts will have one hand on that title. It's not mathematically impossible, but let's just make sure Celtic win today. 3-1, Trusty to score any time. Well, that's a good bet, that one. We haven't played well in this fixture for a long time. This is very true. Hail from Australia. What's your thoughts on John Beating doing VR today? I'm glad this is water and not vodka. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. We know that there's going to be decisions. There was decisions that VAR got wrong last night. VAR in Scotland are absolutely shocking. And they are the worst. And it's no wonder that there are no... Scottish referees must look at themselves. There are no Scottish referees going to the World Cup. That tells you everything that you need to know. Out of something like, 170 nations or something? I have no idea. But there's no one from Scotland going to the World Cup. That shows you the standard of refereeing. When FIFA are looking at the standard of refereeing in Scotland and they're going, no chance. Scotland are playing with a Diddy version of VAR, and it shows. We know that there will be dodgy decisions today. Celtic will have to beat, and there's nothing new. Nothing new at all. But yeah. That's my thoughts on that. Still don't think that Maeda is 100% fit. 4-0 Celtic. lot of people saying good morning. A win today for us guarantees they finish third. Yes, it is. And it's all about the Champions League money. The club will be thinking that. The players are not interested. And especially the fact that there's a lot of these players that are at Celtic at the moment that will not be here next season. They don't care if Celtic get into the Champions League next season or finish, or how many games they'll have in qualifying. They're just thinking about the here and now. They're just thinking about this game. They're thinking in the back of their mind, I don't know where I'm going to be next summer. That's the reality for some of these players, but hopefully they'll be professional enough to be completely 100% focused. And maybe Martin O'Neill will bring on Rio Hatate today, because Rio Hatate, maybe this is one of those games where Rio goes, I'm really up for it. Don't know, maybe he's had a fantastic week in training, and maybe Celtic that train against goals that are this size will manage to get the ball in the big massive goals that they play against. It's all fine and dandy scoring, putting the ball in the back of your net to a goal that's 5 foot wide, but guys, just hit the target for long range today. Just shoot at will. That's all I say for this Celtic team. Just shoot it well. And if it means that lot finishing third, it's even better for us. I sent Tavernier a farewell gift. Tesco sushi. Hail from Puerto Rico, Gran Canaria. Fantastic part of the world. 3-0 Celtic. Perhaps Yang on the left and Forrest on the right. I think that will be the front two pairing, and Dice and Maeda through the middle, because I think Dice and Maeda gives us our best chance for an early goal within this game. Do you think there's an argument to be made to start Forrest in Iacho, or one of Oxlade-Chamberlain, Hatate, McCown ahead of Yang and Tenecti and Benji Negrin? It's an interesting one, because Benji Negrin is, for all the goals that he scored this season, he's kind of dried up at the time that you want players to be scoring goals. Without his goals, we wouldn't be in the position that you're in. Oxlade-Chamberlain scored a cracker, nice curved ball, Callum McGregor-ish, sort of, when he got a game. Hatate, we know that he can do it. I think that Martin O'Neill and the backroom staff will have been looking at the players, and you'll be looking at the hunger that they've had in training this week. And Martin O'Neill and the backroom staff will kind of know who they're edging towards. But they'll also look at the fact, is there anyone in training this week that's went, that's turned up last Tuesday and went, I've got a week's training here. I'm going to really put a shift in, and I'm going to show that I am busting my gut to play this game, because I want to finish that lot. Is there anybody within the squad that folk have went, where the hell did that performance come from? I don't know why you not done that all season. And hopefully it is Rio Hatate. Hopefully Rio Hatate has performed that bloody good in training, that it's went, yeah, he's up for it now, isn't he? He's angry. He's been left out. It's worked. And hopefully the fact that he has been left out and not got onto the pitch, hopefully it's enraging him a bit, and it's making him want to bully people on the park again. We're getting right up for that now, aren't we? 3-0 says Simon. Agree, Yang on the left and Forrest on the right. I think that could be right. Do you think there's an argument for any actual? We've done that one. The comments seem to be going back away. Can't do without the Green Brigade. No, the Green Brigade did put out a big, massive statement this morning talking about a tifo, so it'll be fantastic to see the tifo against that lot, because some of the tifos over the years, I mean, I think that one of the best ones was the Horseman tifo. I mean, that was absolutely fantastic. So the fact that the Green Brigade have put a lot of effort into this one, totally buzzing for it. Totally buzzing for it. It'll be absolutely fantastic to watch. Right, I'm just going to do a quick check of this. There we go. That's all set up. And let's grab some of the comments. Still banging on about Johnny Kenny. He isn't playing today. But all we did was mention at the beginning of the video that he's injured, and we listened to the manager talking about how important that he has been for them, and he has a knee ligament damage. Ligament damage. Sinisalo, KT, Scales, Trusty, Alistair Johnson, Calmack, Arnie, Benji, Youngster, Dyson, and Forrest. Front three from Neil this morning. There was an offer coming in for Johnny Kenny. I'm not too sure. Maybe there was an offer coming in for him. Will they still make an offer for him in summer? You never know. Motherwell's manager after the game was brilliant yesterday. I don't know. I just stopped watching it. Tam the Czech. Where did that comment go? Oh, I've just lost it. More like 700 grand rather than 7 million. Tam the Czech was shite. 5-0 to us. Look, I apologise, I'm going to jump through right to the end of the comments because I have got stuff to do before we get ready for the live team reveal. Just landed in Malaga, says Joseph Davidson. Oh, you've got an hour to get up the road, mate. Takes 55 minutes. No idea if you're getting the bus or if you're getting the motor, but you've got you've got a couple of hours. You'll get the game. You will get the game. So yeah. What a beautiful morning it is outside, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous out there. They hung out the flag of war. That was a good one as well, wasn't it? Where the whole section was in the plastic. Anyway, I've got a spliff left for 12. And Paul Baird is in the house this morning. Right, big thank you to everyone who has been on the live this morning. Been rather busy. The big news of this morning was that we broke with the fact that Johnny Kenny has knee ligament damage. Will he be ready for pre-season at Celtic? Young player at Celtic, 15-year-old, is wanted by Athletic Club in Spain. The little Spaniard that's on Celtic books, Zion Pullen, has been making waves. The 15-year-old has got 58 goals and 35 assists for Celtic, playing their trade in the under-17s. He made an appearance for Scotland under-15s, but he was recently called up for Spain under-15s, and that's when I noticed the player. And when you look at some of the players that he's playing beside the teams that they come from, it's a massive thing that Celtic have this youngster coming through the system at Celtic. But will he be enticed back to Spain as a youngster? Jim Lister says one of the best tifos was the 125 years won versus Barcelona. Talking about everything Spanish. And yes, we beat Barcelona that evening. I'd love a little scoreline like that this afternoon. 2-1, that would be my preferred scoreline. Have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. And I'll see you with just under an hour's time.